Here at the anchor desk, I'm Paula Eben with Ken McLeod, and we have our WBZ political analyst, John Keller, joining us on the phone. John, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Paula, Ken.
This will be a day that goes down in history. What is your initial reaction to the news that apparently the AP is reporting the Attorney General Barr could brief the ranking House and Senate Judiciary Committee members by this weekend on the contents of the Mueller report?
Well, things are going to happen fast, that's for sure. And while you're absolutely right when you pointed out that it is not clear whether or not the report will be made public and everyone will have a chance to see it, absent items being removed that are highly classified, I think as a practical matter, there's no way we won't see it. Think about it. Either way, if the report exonerates the president and his family, he'll tweet it out himself, text and all. If it's incriminating and the White House tries to squelch or censor it, it's Washington, D.C., Paula and Ken. Yeah. That baby's going to leak and fast.
So what you're saying is that it becomes a partisan leak fest, essentially, here, beginning as early as this weekend. John, do we know how much do the congressional members who are going to receive a briefing here from Barr's office, will they get to see the whole report up front, or will they get only bits and pieces?
My understanding is that only a handful of members, the heads of the ranking members of the intelligence committees, will be immediately shown the entire report. How much other members of Congress will get to see initially, I'm not sure about that. But look, yes, I'm describing this in political terms because while certainly there are legal issues here and we're all on the edge of our chair waiting to see what this tight-lipped special counsel investigation was really doing through all those months of secrecy and quiet investigation. At the same time, this is going to be a political process. How the public reacts, how Congress reacts, that's all going to play out, I think, in fairly short order here. And it's going to be driven by something we should remember thinking back to Watergate in the mid-1970s. Is there a smoking gun? Richard Nixon's political support was being heard, but still holding up until those tapes were released. And there's his voice masterminding the cover-up of the Watergate crimes. Is there something similar here? Paula and Ken, I think, frankly, that's going to be a make-or-break point to watch.
Well, we've had 34 people in 3 Russian companies so far charged stemming from Mueller's investigation, which has been going on now for 22 months or so. And in each of those court filings, John, I mean, I think the Mueller team has tried to shed some light on where they're going and what kind of cards they have. And we haven't yet seen that barn burner that you're talking about. So does that lead you to believe that perhaps it's not there? Perhaps no direct link to the president is there?
Well, I know we pundits are never supposed to say this, but I don't have the slightest idea. I mean, look, that Michael Cohen's offices, the president's longtime lawyer, his offices were raided. We know that they seized hundreds of tapes. What's on those tapes? There were all sorts of documents taken there. We're pretty sure that the Mueller investigation has the president's tax returns. What's in there? You know, we're just going to have to wait to see. And to the extent that this winds up roaming far afield from the Russia angle, which in and of itself is obviously a major, major story, that's going to be telling. Are we going to see evidence produced here of personal fraud on the part of the president or family members? There's been a lot of buzz over the last few days about Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump perhaps having violated national security rules. So this could go anywhere, and we just don't know because while you make a great point about how we learned a fair amount about what was happening from Robert Mueller's court findings, I don't think anyone who's been following this closely thinks we know the half of what's been going on here. But We're about to find out.
John, they don't even know as we take a live look at the White House. Now you see the image of Robert Mueller. The press secretary tweeted this afternoon, the next steps are up to Attorney General Barr, and we look forward to the process taking its course. The White House has not received or been briefed on the special counsel's report. So here is the tweet from Sarah Sanders. As of right now, even the White House is still in the dark. And John Keller, thanks for joining us. We're going to take a quick break.